just going to sketch out the basic area of where this hydrangea bloom is going to go, and put the leaves in, and just see. Just kind of lay it out a little bit. All right, and then just do a big circle, kind of show where that big old mop head's gonna go. I'm going to try out these Silver Silk 88 brushes that I've had. I've only used them once before, and I just didn't have a lot of practice with them, so this could go either way. Just see what I end up using here. I'm going to try out this smaller cat's tongue brush first. And I want this to be kind of just a violet and blue. So I already had, from a previous painting here, some Carbazole violet and some Phthalo blue. We'll try that out. Just gonna use, I normally would just use a flat. I'll just kind of wet this area down a little bit. Just to kind of do a little rough background here. Just a little bit of purple, or this Carbazole violet. And then I will dry that and go over top of my detailed petals. Let's see how this works. All right, back with that 4. Mix a little bit of the blue and the violet. Get a nice diluted mix here. All right, start kind of right in here. These hydrangeas have 4 petals each, so some of them, they're kind of overlapped. And I'm just going to continue doing these 4 petaled flower shapes across this whole circle that I did my purple wash on. I'll just go around and make these petal shapes across the whole area and just kind of vary it. And it doesn't really matter completely if I have a lot of detail on these, because I am going to go back over this with a smaller detail brush to outline them after. And just also see that I am mixing in variations of blue and purple and just kind of varying it up a little bit so that there's a little bit of difference between each petals. Sometimes I make it a little bit more blue, sometimes a little more purple. So just kind of vary it up, and then have some petals that are kind of poking out from the side It's not going to be completely round, have a little bit of variation in the direction of your petals. And I just wanted to go back over a few areas and just kind of define out. I kind of lost some of my petal shapes there as they overlapped. I just wanted to define a few more, it's a little bit darker of a purple color there. I'm just going to go over a little bit more in a few spots, but still leaving some of the empty space in between some of my flower petals. essentially what I've done there is I used my Undersea Green with a little bit of that phthalo blue, and I tried to make a really deep, almost a forest green color. And I'm still using that cat's tongue brush. I'm going to use that to paint my leaves and the stems. And the edges of these leaves are kind of, they have a little bit of a pointed edge. They're not completely smooth. All right, so I've given the sides of the leaves those little bit spiky edges, and then I'm going to turn my brush around and use the handle. I'm just pressing the handle, turn around into there to give some vine details, and I'll do that on all of the leaves that I'm going to do. I've got 3 different leaves to do. And I'm just going to go back over that one more time just to darken that up and to make sure I get those spiky leaves defined. All right, now I am switching over to that size 2 ultra round brush that I had, and I'm going to just trace around essentially each little petal shape and add a center to my flowers and then add some little petal details, some small lines. I'll zoom in on that so you can see that better. So here I'm just doing a small dot in the center, and then I'm having some small little vein details just very faintly coming up. And I'm just using that Carbazole violet to go around each petal shape and just kind of go off of that first initial wash that we put down and just vary up the shape and size of the petals as you go around and do the entire flower head. And some of them won't be complete flowers. I'm just going to kind of focus on the center ones first, and then there might be an occasional petal poking out somewhere. Some might not have centers. I'm just going to kind of use the flowers that I put in on that first wash as a guide. I'm just finishing up the last of these flowers, just checking, see if there's any empty spaces that I might have missed. I can add a few more flower vein details in, finish that last one up and add a center. Thanks for painting along with me. Make sure you check out my Instagram, Mrs. Hand Painted, so you can see all of my paintings. I've been participating in several different challenges this April 2020. Lots of different challenges going on Instagram right now with lots of prompts and ideas to paint. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'll be adding new tutorials several times a week.